Okay, so now we're going to look at cleaning the data in JavaScript. We saw how to do it in the console, but now let's take a look at how we do it in actual JavaScript. So if you remember, we started by loading the JSON file, Boston employees' salaries. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through that data in a function called go. So we're going to call this function by hand, and what we want to do is, if you remember, this loads up and gives us a function called data. And I'm going to put myArray equal to data, and if you remember, there's data.data is the array that we need to get each row, and each column in that row we want to look for the maximum salary, and it's in, so this would be a row, say row 0, and we need to pick out column 18. Okay, but let's do that in a loop. So I'm just going to put that there. I'll do a for loop. Bar I equals 0, I less than my array dot length, gth I plus plus. Okay, and now what do I need to do? I need to get my array, and I want to get each element of it, so that's I. So that's a row. Now that's a row. It's an array, and we're going to say that array is a row of data, and the 18th element of that is what I need. So I need to go and get now the 18th element. Okay, and I want to put that into salaries. So I do salaries, push the 18th element. So that should do it. But if you remember, the 18th element was a string, and I actually want to make it a number, so I'm going to do parse int on that array. Oh, sorry, that number. Okay, so that should give me salaries. If I save it, let's just check. And if I run it, pick data, here it is. If I run it this time, I need to go into here. Let me put a breakpoint there. Oops. Oh yes, I'll put it there. Go. Salaries now. Yep, it's an array, and let's look at one of the elements. Okay, it's the maximum salaries. So this would work, and we could use this data now, this salaries, we could pass it into something that would plot it. Okay, but first I want to show you a kind of neater way of doing this, or at least I think it's neater. So let's take my array, and I'm going to use the map function. So what that does, it allows us to pass each element of my array, and remember, each element of my array is an array itself, but I want to pass it to pick column. So this is a function I've got to write. So let's do this. Let's write the function. So the function pick column has a row passed into it. And what I want to do is return the 18th column. Oops, row and 18. And so that'll be what I need. But I remember that will give me a string, and actually I want to do parse int on it. Might as well do it here, and that'll turn it into a number. So this returns for each row passed to it the right column. So now I don't have a loop. It's all taken care of by map. Pretty neat. Let's check that it works. Okay, let's go in here, and I don't want to break there, I really want to break here. So let's run it again. Okay, go in here, call go. Take a look, salaries, see if it's good. Yep, there they are. So this works just as well. Okay. Now let's just do one more thing. Suppose I want to just filter out of all the salaries. I want to get all of those above, let's say 200,000. So let's see what that looks like. How do I do that? Well, there's a function called filter that will do very similar things. Now, so what I want to do is, let me get myself a variable sData, and that's going to get the ones that pass this test. So let me now write a function test. It's going to get passed into it an actual maximum salary, right? So it's going to get a number passed into it, and what we want to do is only pass back those that match our test. S greater than 200,000. Okay, so let's see now if sData contains the ones above 200,000. So we'll run it again, go back and call go. sData now, it's an array and there's only 285. Remember before salaries had 22,000. So now let's have a look. Yep, all these are bigger than 200,000. Beautiful. So that's how we can pick out exactly the data that we want. So we're not only cleaning the data to some extent, okay, we're filtering it as well. So this is usually called cleaning still though, because we're getting at the data that we want to plot. So now we know how to do that. We've used map and filter. So if you don't remember map and filter, we need to cover those, and we can do that. We've got videos on those.